Hi, this is me. Get real. This is Sunday, the day before Memorial Day, and I do need to work from home for. Oh, I wrote it out last night. I was supposed to work for 12 hours. No, I didn't say how many hours. I was supposed to be up. I was going to be up at 6 something and work at 7. When I looked at the clock, it was 10 a.m. And that's really weird. That means, excuse me, that my neighborhood was quiet enough that I didn't wake up from cars on the road or from. I had my sound machine on. And I woke up in the middle of the night or in the early morning really sick. I thought I was going to puke. And I couldn't move very well. So I grabbed a pillow and propped myself up. And then I had a couple of burps. So I've been having a stomach ache. I did eat this watermelon that had pre-cut watermelon where there was a piece dangling out the side. And the container was kind of puffy. It says used by today, the 27th. And I got like scared that because it was exposed to air that it like had rotted or something. Because there was a piece shoved, and I hate when the containers have a piece shoved into the side of the container when they shut it. Like meat, it's like that sometimes. You're like, ew, that part's really got to be rotten. And then it's amazing what our bodies can tolerate, because it's like if I was a farmer and I had watermelon and I went and picked it and cut it fresh, like it'd just be a matter of what if I used manure or what was on the outside. And what was in my kitchen, not like a bunch of hands and people breathing and cutting things, and who knows, like, if you're working in a food service, like, how long it sat on the counter at this place, how long it sat on the counter at this place, did you take it out of the fridge, put it back in really fast, did you get a phone call, did you, like, get called because something happened, something broke, and you had to clean up, like, you don't know how many times, that if you had your own farm, you can just pick the tomatoes, go inside, eat them, or like usually when I have stuff grow, I have very little, so it's pretty much the only reason it makes it inside is because I have pets, rodents that I share with, and I don't like to not rinse theirs because I just don't know what kind of pests are in the yard, other rodents that are wild. I need to fix this necklace. It's bothering me that I don't have the tool. I feel like I should just de-string the whole thing and restring it. The thing is, I cannot get this into. What I was gonna do is I'm gonna put some more jump rings on there. Let's do that. Some pliers. So I'm taking a break because I haven't even started working yet. I feel really sick. I don't know what to do. I just feel like I can't handle anything. But to distract myself, I I was watching short videos and news stories, mostly on YouTube. Oh, my rubber band broke. On the royal wedding that just took place, and of course a lot of stuff comes up about William and Kate. And when I had the William and Kate thing, I I got really into learning about the Queen of England, Elizabeth II. Someone give us a whole bag of rosemary. I should not accept anything. If I go out and purchase something, it's like I really, really want it, and I don't have that much money, so it's like I know I really, really want it, and then you accept free crap because somebody's giving it to you. Oh, I couldn't afford that, and then it doesn't get used, so it would have been better off if I just, like, didn't take it home and let them use it. Obviously, this lady's growing rosemary in her yard. She wants a lot of rosemary. I should have rosemary in my yard. I just remembered a bunch of mail. Here, there's this tax form. This is the one I lost. I think this is the one I misplaced. Oh my god. I was like, I need 2 copies of this. And then I lost the original. I'm like, I did the taxes online. Like, oh, I would have had to send that in. I apologize. What happened to everything's that we taped to the door? So when was the other one? 5, 6 years ago? I can't remember. And I was looking into, just some stuff about the Queen. I don't remember. I was thinking about royalty and how they become royals, and I might have done one of those articles or searches for what available men are there, like all these like counts and sirs and stuff that I never hear of. You know, I remember I used to read tabloids when my mom made me get my hair done frequently, and they had tabloid magazines inside of the hair salon, and I just loved them. So I'd go through a couple regular magazines. I don't know what you call regular. I'm black. Pretty much wouldn't be many black people in the magazines that I read. At home we had like Ebony and Essence. Or, I don't know. I don't think we had Essence. We had Ebony. But I remember would find somebody black who had her hair straightened or curled. And I'd be like, can you make my hair like this? Of course they could not. There's no way. My hair is so screwed up and it's so short and breaks off, and there's no way you could say, oh, like if your hair grows and it grows an inch or half inch a month, and you can decide to grow it out, cut it, shave it, and it'll grow, or shape it into something, or perm it, or curl it. You can do that. I cannot do anything. I can't even make my hair into a natural fro. It will all break off. I've done it so many times. And all my hair, like I wish I could have my hair grow like a fro, like it's supposed to, and just wash it, pick it, brush it, condition it, and go on a regular basis, and then put it in a puff if I could. If I need to have my hair up, I, if I were going to need to do that, I would probably just shave my head. And I'm a really cold person, and that makes me feel like a freeze. Like I would just have to like keep my hair cut super short, and I've never done that before. I'm like, my hair is so curly, I'm afraid it's like would be all like razor. Um, it would all be like ingrown hair, so they just go say I'd be like, oh God, I shouldn't have done that. I've been tempted to do that so many times. And my hair breaks off so much. I seriously don't even think it would ever grow back. Like that's kind of negative talking, but anyways, I don't know how the tablets, yeah, okay. And then I remember we would watch 60 Minutes. We'd watch all the news stories when I was a kid. They would be on, the TV would be on always. And then when you're with the grown-ups, the TV would be on the news, Jeopardy, Wheel of Fortune, and then any 60-minute shows. We did watch the news, the PBS News Hour, I believe. Didn't that one come on earlier than the national news? So basically, I remember 6 o'clock local news, and it would be coming out of Alpena, Michigan. We didn't have, on that channel 11, I don't remember what that was, CBS, I don't remember what that was. We only, at first we only had, we had CBS, PBS, and we had one more network. I think it was NBC. My parents said no, NBC was too racist and biased. They couldn't, it was, I mean, every news is racist and biased, but they would refuse to let us watch that network. I feel, because it was, I know ABC's been around. I feel like it was CBS, and we weren't allowed to watch NBC and then PBS. We only had like 3 channels. And I was really little, and then we got cable later. And you had a clicker box, and it was still shaped like, we had a wooden TV, and you had a cable box like that. That was black, or it was laminate, like wood. And then we had a clicker box, I think it had a laminate wood on top. And it didn't have channel 0, of course. I was like, why don't they ever make a channel 0? But it had 1 through like 99 or 1 through like 49, and you go click, 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 click. And it was like, oh my God, it was like a miracle. We never had a remote control. And the TV was digital, so you had to type in 03. If you like had a VCR, I don't know if we had it set like 04, and it had a digital LCD right out, but the TV was wooden. And it had a thing like remote something, and I was like, where's the remote? How come you never got a remote? And before that, we had another TV that ended up in the basement, another wooden TV. We had cable, we had Nickelodeon, HBO, and all the other channels in between all those. And USA, I would watch cartoons So yeah, I remember sitting there, whether it was antenna, only had the two channels. I mean, that's, people would sit around radios. It's like whatever you could zoom in on becomes your routine for like decades. Um, so it was 6 o'clock, the Alpena News, and they'd rarely talk about. It was an hour away from my town, and when you got other news cable channels, you had Saginaw, Michigan, all the Tri-Cities, like Saginaw, Bay City, Flint type news. You could watch those, but we never really did. I don't think. You would always see the weather. You would always see the whole state, or at least not our, like our side of the state. I guess you wouldn't. The state so big, you wouldn't see the whole state. But then you'd have the national. So it was Dan Rather on CBS. I always remember Dan Rather, Maria Shriver, and who's that other guy? Is it brown hair? I don't think that guy's on CBS. Anyways, then that would be 6:30, and then that would always you would always see the national weather. Oh, there's a heat wave coming. Oh crap, there's a heat wave coming. But we had a big basement and a lake in the backyard. So the biggest problem about the heat wave was the heat waves were those biting black flies at the lake. Those were like monsters. And then there was mice in our basement. So that was like the other negative of that. So it was super humid, super hot, and I moved there. I was like 1. So that was normal summer. It was super humid, super hot, and then it stayed hot at night. The first time I went to Escondido, California, first time I ever went to California, um, my friend, I was like, oh, California, I was like, obviously these beaches, it's gonna be so hot, it's gonna be 100 degrees every day, all day, it's gonna be hot at night. And my friend's like, oh yeah, we're gonna go somewhere, bring a sweater or bring a jacket. I'm like, really? I think I asked before I left, like, how should I go? I was like, it'll be nice and warm in the sun, but bring a sweater. And I was so surprised that it was like, I don't know, let's just say it was like 80 degrees in the day. We went to the beach, went swimming. Thought I was gonna be a surfer, and I was like, oh my god, these waves are knocking us down. There was big rocks. I thought me and my friend were still scared. We're like, yeah, we're going surfing. We're like so used to the Great Lakes. Like she was on the Lake Michigan side, and I was on the Lake Huron side. And Lake Huron was pretty tame where I lived. I mean, waves, yeah, definitely knock you off your feet, but not like the Pacific Ocean down in San Diego. And she was like, yeah, bring a sweater. So I was so shocked. Now that I've lived on the West Coast, I understand how you have the wind blowing away, cooling things off, and blowing in the weather, and that's hot sun, sandy beaches, and then nighttime. It got cold, it wasn't humid, and it was windy, like chilly, and I was really surprised to see that. Most people don't get as cold as I do, so if they were wearing shorts and a tank top, and it's 9 o'clock at night, they'd probably still be wearing shorts and a tank top, but I get really cold. I'd probably do the same in Florida, which I also spent some time sailing up the coast, or sorry, the Gulf of Mexico from Key West. And Key West, similar to San Diego, nice, hot, sunny. We were in a 72-foot wooden sailboat. I believe it was 71 foot. It might have been 72, 71. It was a little more than 70 feet wooden sailboat, and we had to sail up to the Panhandle and then drive a vehicle from the Panhandle up to back to Michigan. Oh god, I had so many bug bites. So I started out like similar to San Diego, where the wind blew away the bugs, and the wind kept it humid and dry, nice clean beaches, and of course they probably built up a lot of the land. Probably isn't able to see the ocean anymore. And when the captain of our ship, there was 4 of us that went down, me and my suite mate, roommate, and then one guy and another female, and then our captain. Just 5 of us on this boat. And we went to town. We flew down to Miami, rented a car, drove to, we drove down well, it was Highway 20, it starts out as US 23, because that's the same US 23 in Michigan. It goes all the way from Florida to Michigan. But it goes down through all the keys till you get to Key West. It has, I think it does have the alligator. You get out of the car, you stop to out of the mainland or one of the keys to go to a restaurant. It's like, we're not going to have any more restaurants once we keep driving down the keys. I had a dream as a kid I still remember it. I don't know if it was reoccurrent or it was so vivid. I was in the back seat of the car, and my mom always had this big gray Mercedes. She got it right when I was born, so I come home from the hospital in it. Had a silver spoon in my mouth. I was more like a gold, like a 24 karat gold baby. I had more than silver spoon. Look at me now. I'm so poor. I had my, in the dream, my mom was driving the Mercedes, and I had, um, I had been in the back seat, and we went on a road, and there was water on both sides. So I think when I had this dream, or my age was 1 years old, or younger, or maybe 2. But we did go to Disney World in Florida when I was 2. So that's why I'm wondering if it had anything. My mom's not around. I can't ask her, hey, did I have an incident? Um, did I have an incident when I was fearful? So basically, in the dream or memory, it could have been a memory of real life. But in this vision, in this dream, I was in the back seat in the car, in a child's seat. I had this big, like, black, leathery plastic thing. I left it in Washington. We actually had this thing from the 70s, big old space chair thing, like eject autopilot, eject airplane type seat that I had. I wish I had it today. It would have been awesome. But the kids to play with it. Anyways, it's a different story. When our car would break down, we had to bring the car seats in, and they would have a good old time playing bus or whatever they were playing. My kids played a lot together. They're very close in age. And I had, in the dream, I had been with water on each side, and we were driving over it. And I was afraid of alligators or crocodiles. I was afraid of being, like, when you're driving in Florida or whatever, you're like at the zero, you're zero elevation. You're at sea level. There you go. You're at sea level. It's like kind of creepy. It's kind of like you're equal with the marshes in the sea and the swamps, and it's kind of creepy because you're like, I was like scared of bodies of water at that young age. You know, I didn't know how to swim or whatever. And I have a lot of memories from when I was 0 to 2 years old. I went to Disney World when I was 2. I was terrified of the fireworks. I couldn't. I was getting lost in a train, and I felt like the train was going, and I wasn't in it, and I was running after it. I don't know. Like I said, my mom's not around. All of my freaking fingernails. I washed my hands so much, and I had this other job where these plastic gloves. Like, I keep getting all my skin peeling off. It's so annoying. I ended up just having that as a recurring dream or a memory. And the other one was we were in Louisville, Kentucky. We were in some hilly, rich neighborhoods, and Mom had to go to somebody's house, and we were parked on a driveway, and there was a hill, like a slope, and the car starts rolling into the street, and I'm alone in the back seat, and all I could think about is that I need to get out of my car seat and push the brake pedal, like, and I don't know if as I got older, I filled in the gaps of this is what you need to do. There's a gas, there's a brake pedal. And, later on, like now, oh, there's emergency brake. Like sometimes they were down low in old cars, or bench seats in old cars. But it wasn't. It was 2 bucket seats in the front with a Mercedes, I think. And we had lived in some nice neighborhoods in Louisville near where the Colonel lived for KFC, and people don't believe me. I was like, dude, my parents had a lot of money, and they knew how to get really good deals. Like, they did their research and stuff on vehicles and houses, and they wanted stuff that would last. They taught me the value of getting something quality. Now, when I get something of quality, it lasts longer than the cheaper stuff, but it doesn't last forever. When things in the old days last forever, you're basically wearing or driving old crap. And the only reason that you would get rid of it is because you're like, all right, I've been driving the same car for 56 years. Maybe it's time to get a new, like, you just basically want fashion, or you're like, want to get with the times. And usually when my relatives did that, they ended up with some junker, then they kept having to replace that piece of junk, and the other car is already gone. Or they got a piece of junk that was modern that had, oh, it's got a CD player. It has like stuff in it, safety features, airbags. And then you're like, wow, I'm going to keep this vehicle. And, it has different, like, I never had a car when my kids were little that had, what's in my bag here, that had the, what do you call it when you hook your car seat into that little clip? We never had those, like, things until I got this car. Our car's from 1991. All three of my cars from the 90s on were 1991. So it's like, so say like 95, 94, 95, I got a 91 car. Wow, as a young driver, that was a really new car, right? For a young teenager. And then I had the same car until 99, switched it out because it got broken going off-roading with the Jeep. And then we temporarily traded out. I never got it back. It may or may not still be sitting in the same driveway. Ugh. And then we had that one for a few years, and then we had continued driving 91 cars until January, February 2000, or the beginning of 2010. That's 10. Still a 19-year-old car. I would have kept driving this vehicle, so you can't keep breaking down. Like, I was told to take it to really bad mechanics. And they had one time even told me, our mechanics don't understand. These old cars are used to new with a computer, like, they cannot diagnose it and they cannot fix it very well. And they admitted it one time when they kept my car for 2 weeks. And I was renting a car, I was like, and they wouldn't answer the phone. I was like, I need to figure out when I'm getting my car back. I got school and work. I got to figure out when I'm coming in. And they couldn't diagnose it. I went somewhere. Some guy took that little pen thing that you stick in the old model cars, and you just stick it in the engine, and then it rings up a diagnostic code. I was like so about to go to the auto shop and go get me one of those things, because I'm like, I watched a couple guys use that, and that my car would break down. This one guy knew a bunch of people and all over this metro area, and he would have these guys fixing my car. I don't even, like, he wouldn't charge me. I was like, he'd take my car, and well, I broke down a couple times. He's babysitting my kids, and he's like, don't worry about your car, we're gonna go get it fixed. And whoever fixed this random people, I have no idea. They fixed it well. They fixed it, and I never had the problem again. Like, when I took it to the Ford and Toyota dealership. No, I never took it to Ford. I took it to a Toyota dealership. They always had problems with the Toyota. And they were really rude and disrespectful. It was really bad. It was so bad. I had to report one time. I don't know what happened. I think they double charged or something for something that wasn't. It was wrong, and they just blew me off. And I said, well, my relative demands I go here, and they were paying for it. But I go, yeah, like, you guys are just like, no, like, this is the straw that broke the camel's back. Like, someone needs to be reported, because this is just, I don't remember what the incident was. They never resolved it. They have those de-escalators that just like, man, blah, 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 and you leave, calm down, but you're like, those suckers didn't fix what, they didn't compensate me. I'm really bad at that for my business. If somebody's not satisfied, it's like, I will end up bankrupt trying to reconcile with him. That's why I have to work for other people. So going back to the TV shows, to get all that out of the way, I had remembered what, oh yeah, because I was telling you about a lot of memories I've had when I was a baby. I still have. And I wonder if it's like a dream. You kind of like solve life's problem, but it's like if I remember something for over 40 years, you add to solving the problem. I may not have known the word brake when I was one, but then later on, you're like, you need to undo your seatbelt and push the brake button and put the car in park. Like, you just fill in the gaps, and this dream never stops. I just have dreams or feelings. I was levitating as a child daily. I thought I literally felt like I was levitating, and I was looking down at my body in my room. Um, and I had always frequently had that falling dream. I would frequently have that dream. I had a dream. I had a nightmare when my house was too clean. That's weird. My room was always messy, and I had a nightmare that my room was too clean, and I couldn't sleep. I also had chemical sensitivities. I couldn't sleep. I could feel like nerve pain in my teeth. I still get that today. It sucks, dude. It is like torture. You watch these videos where people are getting electrocuted, like these cop shows, Criminal Minds, someone's in the basement and they got them hooked up and they're like torture machines, and I'm just like, some things in life, when you become an adult, like some things aren't okay, like someone's trying to sexually assault you or something and you say no, it doesn't matter what age you are, no means no. But then when you're an adult, you get to choose, even though you don't have money, like me, you have to choose not to use freaking laundry detergent and soaps that cause you to have this pain. Like as a kid, parents just think you're crazy and don't listen to you. I had my heater in my room. It was a radiator style heater, furnace, boiled water through. Excuse me, and downstairs, bathrooms and everything, the garage and everything was heated. And the outer garage, I don't know what the heat was out there. Probably heated for all I know. But we had my room freezing cold. So we had like 3,000 square feet of heated house, and my room was like an ice box. So I was in Michigan, and I'm on the corner. There's a lake here, so you have the wind from the lake. The lake's frozen solid, and you have the snowstorms, the blizzards, the -10 wind chill, or sometimes it's -10 just straight up on the thermometer that was on the side of the house. So you have a thermometer on the wall with a wire outside, still at -10, and you think that near the house would be warmer. So um, I ended up telling my parents or my mom, oh my god, it's so cold, oh my god, I can't handle it. I know I used to keep my heat off in my house, in my apartments and stuff, and since I've been raising my kids because we can't afford heat, and I um, I couldn't. I would come home and just wrap up in blankets and shiver. I couldn't do any dishes. I couldn't cook or anything. I couldn't clean, and I did that for like 10 years until finally, like a year or two ago, I was like, I can't. We have so many jobs and so many places. I got laundry. I got that. Like especially doing births, you couldn't put it off until daylight because you don't know when you're going to be called in and when you're getting home and you have multiple births. It was just a nightmare. So I had to start keeping the heat on. The kids were starting to be home, also, and the animals inside the house. So you keep it cold, the animals just get thicker wool or thicker hair. But 20 years later, I think after I started complaining, somebody finally had someone go through the whole house and diagnose the heater. And they're like, oh, did you know that the heater in your room, the water was blocked? I said, I had been saying this since the 80s that my room is ice cold. So imagine like you have -10 outside and you're in a bedroom with the door shut and it's not heated and you have huge windows and you have lake effect wind. I'm sure it was more insulated than this place, but it was like I had the thickest pajamas, the long johns, and then a heated blanket, and I couldn't stay in there, so I never learned how to clean like my room and everything. Um, and I never got taught to, like, when you are friendless and you have relatives that beat you, your inanimate objects, your toys, your stuffed animals are like your only friends. So it's like I have a personal connection with clothing and shoes and stuff, and it sucks. Like I kind of want to just like books are a big one, and records, because those and music, those take you out of dwelling on who's hurting you that day. Like, it's like the never ending story. It like takes you out.